Hello everyone, my name is B and welcome back to another video. So 2022, it's over, it's done. And now we can look back on this year to being a largely pretty solid year overall. I don't know about you guys personally, but for me, it's been a really good year for personal reasons as well as for, well, everything that's been going on. And one of the biggest plus sides for this year is starting this YouTube channel. It's something that I really been wanting to do over the past few years, but I've only managed to do it this year. And seeing how this channel has grown and the support you guys have been giving me really means a lot. So thank you guys, and I do hope that I'll be able to continue this later on in the future. But enough with all that. Anime 2022 has been a really, and I mean really good year for anime. We've had a lot of great sequels, a lot of great adaptations for really popular mangas and light novels, and not only that, but we also had some really good anime originals as well. This year didn't miss. This year was the year for anime, and 2023 has a lot to live up to. With that being said, what shows am I looking forward to in 2023? What shows do I want to watch personally in 2023? And there's quite a few actually. There's quite a few shows that I really want to watch. Now I'm looking at my anime list and live chart, and for spring and winter, a lot of shows have pretty much been confirmed. Anything forward for that, there's not really a lot of shows that have been confirmed per se. So there might be some shows that are out there that are slated for 2023 but aren't really confirmed yet. So that might change over the next few months. But judging from the two websites and the list that has been confirmed, I just wanted to talk about it because why not start with something simple? So the first show I'm looking forward to is Vinland Saga Season 2. Personally, Vinland Saga is a really good anime. I really like the historical setting. I really like Vikings, and the fact that it's set in medieval Europe was really exciting to see. Everything that Wit did with Vinland Saga was absolutely incredible. So Vinland Saga Season 2 has a lot to live up to. Now I've read the manga for Vinland Saga a while back ago, and Season 2 has my favorite arc in the manga. Now let's read the description. A new millennium begins in the southern part of Jutland Peninsula in Denmark. Thorfinn was brought by the landowner Ketil as a slave and engaged in land reclamation work on his farm. Thorfinn meets a young man there, Einar, who was also a slave like him. The encounter of Einar led Thorfinn to face the sins he had committed and began to find meaning in life. On the other hand, Canute, who became the king of England, attempted to extend his territory for the establishment of the Promised Land. So basically, this is continuing on a few years after the end of season one. And this season is going to be interesting because we get to see Thorfinn facing the people that he's murdered because Thorfinn's a Viking. He pillaged a lot of cities, a lot of towns. So this season is sort of going to deal with that guilt that he has. Now, this anime is going to be made by MAPPA, which is a bit scary for me because I feel like Wit did a really good job with season one. So it is going to be interesting to see what MAPPA does. Obviously, the visuals, everything from the trailer look great, but I'm still quite worried considering how many shows that MAPPA have been doing recently and whether or not I'm going to a sort of MAPPA burnout, I guess. The next show I'm looking forward to is Nier Automata, and this is an adaptation of a game of the same name, Nier Automata. I don't know if this is based on the first game or second game. I've never played Nier Automata. I am quite interested in this anime because I don't really know anything about Nier Automata, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's not really a game I personally really want to play, but hopefully the anime will be able to change my mind. It's been done by A1 Pictures. There's no synopsis from this in my anime list at least, so I don't really know what the story is going to be about, but I am quite hopeful about this. The next show I'm looking forward to is Buddy Daddies, and much like the Automata, there's no synopsis for this. It's been done by PA Works, so it could be really good or really mediocre. And it looks really interesting. It looks like it's about two guys acting as sort of parental figure. I am interested in this because this does give me vibes of some really old American movies or Chinese movies that I've seen. And I personally really like movies that deal with sort of like two adults having to take care of a kid while dealing with organized crime sort of thing. I don't know why, but I really like that. So personally, I'm really interested in this because it could be just a really fun show. Moving on to spring, we have Doctor Stone Season 3, A New World. Now, I really love Doctor Stone. I feel like it's a very underrated show for shonen, and I really do like this series a lot. I feel like Season 2 was pretty solid, not the best, but pretty solid. Season 1 was pretty damn good as well. I haven't seen the special about Ryui or someone, I can't remember his name, but I am quite interested in the third season for this. And judging from the art, I think it's going to be continuing continuing from season 2. I don't know if the side story is going to have any impact on third season. I will still check it out just in case. I am quite interested in this because yeah, I really like Dr. Stone, and I don't read the manga because I just really like how the show presents the explanations and all that. So I'm just excited that we got to see more Dr. Stone. Next is Konosuba, an explosion on this wonderful world. I am really excited for this. The fact that we're getting a Konosuba spin-off this day and age is absolutely insane. I know season 3 has been announced. I just don't know when it's going to come out. But still, having a spin-off is absolutely fine because more Konosuba is just incredible. Now, this one is a spin-off that's going to be focusing on Megumin, who is my personal favorite character in Konosuba. And based on the trailer, I think this is going to take place before she meets Kazuma and the rest. So basically going to focus on her life in the Crimson Demon Clan, which is incredibly exciting because I really like the movie that took place in this town. And I really enjoyed the movie and everything, the characters, everything was really great, really funny. So I'm glad that we get to see more of that. But let's read the synopsis for now. Crimson Magic Clan members Megumi and Yunyun are at the top of their class, but they still have a lot to learn. Megumi's the top? Okay. Yunyu's begun learning advanced magic, but Megumi has gone down a different path, the path of explosion magic. Despite being warned of its limited usefulness, Megumin believes explosion magic is the way for her to become a great, voluptuous wizard, and she won't be convinced otherwise. First of all, voluptuous? Okay. But yeah, just judging from the synopsis, it's going to be focusing on Megumin and all that, which is fine. Again, Megumin is my favorite character, and Yun Yun is a really funny character as well. And judging from the trailer, I think it's going to be really fun as well. I don't know if it's going to be any good. Probably it will be, but yeah, it's going to be really exciting to see. Again, more Konosuba, please. Please. Please, season 3. Next is Oshinoko. Now, I don't want to talk too much about this because out of every anime that I've said and I'm going to be said, this one I can guarantee you I will make a video about. And the reason for that is because Oshinoko is my favorite manga of all time. And I'm serious, I really like this manga. And I'm not going to talk too much about it. Again, I'm going to save that for the video, but let's read the synopsis. 16-year-old Ai Hoshino is a talented and beautiful idol who is adored by her fans. She is the personification of a pure young maiden, but all that glitter is not gold. Goro Amamiya is a countryside gynecologist and a big fan of Ai. So, when the pregnant idol shows up at his hospital, he is beyond bewildered. Goro promises her a safe delivery. Little does he know, an encounter with a mysterious figure would result in his untimely death. Or so he thought. Opening his eyes on the lap of his beloved idol, Goro finds that he has been reborn as Aquamarine Hoshino, Ai's newborn son. With his world turned upside down, Goro soon learns that the world of showbiz is paved with thorns, where talent does not always beget success. Will he manage to protect Ai's smile that he loves so much with the help of an eccentric and unexpected ally? Now, first of all, that synopsis said way much more than I actually expected. I expected it to be quite vague, but yeah, even then, it does really well in setting up the story. You get the idea of what the story is. But let me say this, even after seeing the art, everything, let me say this. Don't judge a book by its cover. Please. I recommend you at least watch a few episodes of it because the thing with this manga, the thing with this story is that you have to reach one specific moment. And once you reach that specific moment, only then will you be able to understand what this manga is actually all about. I've seen and I've heard people dropping it because they think it's ridiculous and all that. I think the first episode is going to be quite long. I can't remember. I remember reading it about 60 minutes. I can't really remember. Now, I recommend watching the first episode, just the first episode. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But if you do like it, then you're in for a wild ride because this manga, this story is absolutely insane and I love it. Next one is My Home Hero, and it's apparently based on a manga of the same name. I actually thought this was going to be original, but let's read the synopsis. Tetsuo Tosu, an ordinary salaryman, discovers his daughter Reika has been physically abused by her boyfriend, Matori Nobuto. Trying to learn more about him, Tetsuo uncovers Matori's scheme to extort money from Reika's wealthy grandparents and finds out that he is a member of a crime syndicate with a history of murdering his former girlfriends. Filled with rage and fear at the thought of Reika being in danger, Tetsuo ends up killing Nobuto and with the help of his wife Kasen, successfully disposes of the body. Now as the members of the syndicate begin to question Nobuto's sudden disappearance, Tetsuo and Kasen must work together to ensure the safety of their daughter and prevent her from getting involved with the predicament any further. Now, the reason this show is on this list is because I read the synopsis already and it looks really interesting. It looks like it's going to be a crime mystery sort of thing, and I'm really, really excited about it. I haven't watched this trailer and I don't plan on it because I really want to go into this blind. Next up is Ao no Orchestra, which I think translates to Blue Orchestra. And the reason why this is on this list is because I've read the manga for this ages ago and it looked quite interesting, quite promising, and I'm quite surprised actually that it's getting an anime adaptation because I didn't hear about it. So I am quite happy and quite interested into seeing how it's going to be adapted. Now the synopsis is very long, so I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to simplify it as somewhat being kind of like Your Lie in April, just not as depressing, not as sad. At least the first arc is somewhat like Your Lie in April. The main character is a violinist and is a really good one, but has sort of stopped playing for some reason. And he meets this girl who is actually trying to become a violinist. She's not good, but she wants to learn. And these two sort of form a relationship, and the main character sort of learns the joy of playing music again. And that's the first arc at least. And it is quite interesting. It is quite solid. It's not the best, but it is quite solid. And I am interested to see how they adapt the manga because the manga, in terms of looks, it looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm expecting some really gorgeous animation. The next show on this list is Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Now, this is another show that I've read the manga for, and honestly, I'm really excited for the anime. I'm not a big fan of the manga, not that it's bad, but because the drawings and everything is just so confusing. I think it's just so messy, in my opinion, and some of the recent arcs aren't really my favorite, I guess. I think what the author tried to do with the manga is just something that I'm not really a big fan of. And I think that's the most controversial thing I've said on this channel because I feel like this manga is really, really popular among everyone else. So there's no synopsis of season 2, but from what I gather, we're probably going to see a direct continuation of where season 1 left us. We're going to see some backstory about Gojo. And not only that, but we're also going to see the Shibuya arc, which if you read the manga, is going to be insane, like actually insane. And I'm really, really interested to see how Mappa does with this because they've done a lot of good stuff, and the Shibuya arc is going to be one of those that require them to be at their absolute best. Now, the final show on this list is going to be Fate Strange Fake, an anime adapted from the light novel of the same name. And let's read the synopsis, shall we? Fate Strange Fate centers around an imperfect copy of a Great War based on the Third Holy Great War in Fuyuki. Following the conclusion of the Third Great War, a US-based organization with Magi distinct from the London-based Major Association used data from the Fuyuki's Great War to plan their own ritual. 70 years later, they used the city of Snowfield as the sacred land for their own Great War. However, they were unable to successfully replicate every aspect of the ritual, resulting in it acting only as an imitation that has lost the saber class, and allowed for the summoning of strange servants due to the blurring of the definition of a hero. Grongal and his pupil Faldius have been dispatched by the Mages Association to investigate the city and the state of the war. Faldius, a US organization spy, has Rongal sniped upon his arrival despite knowing that Rongal is a puppet. He declares that their Holy Grail War has been in development and is real, causing a commotion at the clock tower, and that he wishes to advertise the project to the association. Now, this is going to be another entry in the Fate series, and I've read a bit of the manga for it that's sort of adapting the stuff from the light novel, and it is very interesting, like very interesting. Now they're dealing with the fake Holy Grail War, which is quite interesting because this is the first time I believe we're seeing a fake Holy Grail War in the Fate series. Now I'm not the most knowledgeable about Fate, I haven't divulged into every single Fate media out there, but from my knowledge there's never been a fake Holy Grail War before, so this is something new in the series. And from what I remember, there's some pretty big servants already, with Gilgamesh and Enkidu being the really big ones in this series. And there's also different iterations of Assassin, Jack the Ripper, and there's also the Black Plague apparently, and it's really, really interesting, like really interesting. The reason why I didn't continue reading the manga is because it's quite confusing. Even for me, I find this manga to be quite confusing, so I'm really interested to see the anime for it. They released a test footage for the anime like yesterday at the time of me recording this, and it looked absolutely incredible. And being done by A1 Pictures as well, I am quite excited to see where this is going because I really like Fate, and from what I've read, this is going to be an interesting one in the Fate franchise, and I'm just excited for more Fate. But yeah, that's all the anime that I'm going to be watching this year. Obviously, there's probably going to be more that I'll be watching as the season goes on, but these are the anime that I'm sure going to be watching this year. And yeah, I think that's all for this video. Leave a like if you enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.